equalization vote for you rather than her because she convicted so many people in the past?
I can't tell you what she's voting for. I don't think she knows what. I think Joe knows even less than she does. But I was a little surprised at the pick. A lot of people would say that might be the pick. I was more surprised than anything else because she did so poorly. Many people did much better than her in the primaries. She did very poorly in the primaries. And that's like a poll. You know, that's like a poll.
Can I also ask you about FISA abuse, President Trump? Yes, about FISA abuse. So now it's widely accepted among Republicans that there was FISA abuse.
Tremendous FISA abuse, yeah.
The Justice Department IG has found that with the Carter Page Warren application. But we were actually warned in 2013 that the surveillance court was allegedly a rubber stamp, was approving surveillance. And I was wondering, I don't think as president you commented on Edward Snowden, but do you think he should be allowed to return without going to prison?
So as far as FISA abuse is concerned, there was tremendous FISA abuse. It's amazing that it's taken this long, and everyone knows that it's been proven very substantially. Not only FISA abuse, changing documents and putting documents in front of the FISA court and courts that are disgraceful that they could have done it. And the fact is, we caught Joe Biden, President Obama, the whole group. You can look at Brennan and Comey and Clapper, the whole group. We caught them spying on our campaign. This was an illegal act like no other illegal act. This was treason. This was at the highest level of treason. And Obama and Biden got caught spying on my campaign using intelligence agencies of the United States government to do it, both before and after the election. So before the election, then after I won, they continued. It's total illegal activity, and now we just have to see what's happening. But as far as Kamala is concerned, she's a big tax raiser. She's a big slasher of funds for our military, and she's got a lot of difficult things that she's going to have to explain. Plus, she was very, very nasty to one of the reasons that surprised me. She was probably nastier than even Pocahontas to Joe Biden. She was very disrespectful to Joe Biden, and it's hard to pick somebody that's that disrespectful. When she said things during the debates, during the Democrat primary debates, that were horrible about Sleepy Joe, and I would think that he wouldn't have picked. OAN, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yesterday, Seattle City Council voted to cut funding for their police department, and the police chief there, Carmen Best, the first black woman to serve in that capacity, she resigned hours later. What does this say about our country? What does this say about the defund police movement?
Well, I think that Seattle, in spite of all that they've been through with the embarrassment of having a radical left group, Antifa and others, take over a big portion of the city of Seattle. We're talking about a big city, a major city. That they allowed that to happen is incredible. That it took so long to fix is incredible. The only reason they went in is because they knew we were going in the following day. And so they preceded us. They didn't want that to happen. They didn't want to be embarrassed. And the people just gave up. They were exhausted from having taken over a city for so long. The police commissioner seems like a very good woman. They were going to slash her salary by 40 or 50%, and they cut a tremendous amount off the police department, really where people are saying it's not sustainable as a good police department. And again, those police are good also, but they're not allowed to do their job. So I think it's a shame. I hate to see her go because she did, in her own way, a very good job, but she wasn't effective in convincing the mayor and the city council to give the funds that were needed, or just leave the funds the way they are. They've done a big defund, a big part of it. And it'll probably get worse before people realize this is a tragic era, before people start dying and getting hurt very badly. So I think Seattle's made a tragic mistake. I think Portland has no clue as to what they're doing. They have no clue. And hopefully they'll be asking for help because we can solve their problem very, very quickly. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Mr. President, two quick questions. One on Senator Harris. Very simply, is she going to help former Vice President Biden's chances in November, or is she not hurt?
Well, I like Vice President Mike Pence much better. He is solid as a rock. He's been a fantastic vice president. He's done everything you can do. He's respected by every religious group, whether it's evangelical, whether it's any other group, they respect Mike Pence. He's been a great vice president, and I will take him over Kamala and the horrible way she, again, treated Justice Kavanaugh. That was a horrible event. I thought it was terrible for her. I thought it was terrible for our nation. I thought she was the meanest, the most horrible, most disrespectful of anybody in the U.S. Senate. She's also known, from what I understand, as being just about the most liberal person in the U.S. Senate. And I would have thought that Biden would have tried to stay away from that a little bit, because with what they're doing with open borders and sanctuary cities, where they're trying to protect sanctuary cities, which is also protecting large number of criminals, with all of the things that they're doing, Second Amendment, they want to take away your Second Amendment or modify it to a point where it's essentially no longer the Second Amendment. I would have thought he would have gone a different way. Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President.